Hi, welcome to SideKick. My name is Ryan Haight with Brighter Logics, and I'm going to show you the basics of the SideKick Lesson Planner and help you get started once you log in. I'm going to walk you through how to set up your classes and add your very first lesson plan. This video will take less than 7 minutes, so let's get started. Now when you first log into SideKick, you'll notice that you have a blank page. This means that you haven't set up your classes or subjects, so SideKick doesn't display your calendar quite yet. But before we set up our classes, we need to make sure your account is aligning to the correct state standards. So the first thing we want to do is click on Manage and then Settings. Make sure the state in which you teach is listed here. If not, choose your state, scroll down and click Save. Next, let's start adding our classes by clicking on the Classes link here. The My Classes page allows you to set up your classes or the subjects that you teach. So let's say that I'm a high school biology teacher and I want to set up all of my biology classes that I teach. I click here to add a new class. Then I simply enter the class name, select when the class starts. I would suggest the beginning of the school year. Select the end date, which in most cases is the end of the school year, but you can always set these up by 9 weeks or by semesters, whichever you choose. Next, enter the time when you teach this class, and then give it a color. The alignment section you see here allows you to select a set of standards per class or subject that you set up. This makes it faster when you're adding lesson plans because you won't have to search through all of your state standards each time you add a lesson. This is particularly handy for primary ed teachers who teach many different subjects throughout the day. So only these set of standards that you select here will show up when you add lesson plans for this class. You'll see what I'm talking about later when we actually add a lesson plan, but for now, select the set of standards for this class and then click Update Class. If I want to add another class, I simply go through the same steps again. To edit a class, you click Edit, and to delete a class, you click Delete. So now that we have our classes set up, let's click Home to see our calendar with our classes set up. As you can see here, I've added some additional classes, which are all listed on the left side of your calendar with the days of the week across the top. This is called the Secondary Ed Calendar View. SideKick allows you to customize your calendar however you want. If you want the days of the week down the left side and your classes along the top, you can do so by going back to your settings under the Manage Settings link and choosing your calendar settings there. We also have a calendar view more suited for the primary ed teachers, so we encourage you to experiment with different calendar settings to see what works best for you. Now, you can navigate to other weeks by clicking on the calendar here. You click here to add a new lesson plan, here to add a new event, and here to print your lesson plans. Now, there's one more thing we need to do before we begin adding lesson plans. We need to set up our lesson template. So let's click on Manage, Lesson Template. SideKick allows you to add, delete, and reorder text fields for your lesson plan template. So basically, these are the fields you fill out when you're creating lesson plans. The screen is going to look a little different depending on whether you are an individual user or a school district user. If you're an individual user, as I am now, you will be able to set up your lesson plan template however you choose. If you're signed up as a school district user, your principal has the option of setting up your lesson plan template for you. You can see which fields you can choose from here. Simply click on a field and click Add a Field. So I want description, I want directions, I want objectives, and so forth. You can reorder these fields however you choose as well by using the arrows here. You can also choose which fields of your lesson plans you want to show up in the parent viewer by selecting the boxes here. So now that I'm done setting up my lesson template, let's go back to our planner by clicking Home. Let's go ahead and add a new lesson plan. The first thing I do is give this lesson a title. Next, select your date or date range that I will teach this lesson on. If you select a date range, the lesson will show on each of those days for the class you select. But for now, I want to add a lesson just for Monday for both of my Biology 1 classes. So I select Multiple Classes and choose both of my Biology 1 classes here. I then give it a description and some directions. You can fill in as many or as little of these fields as you wish. If you want to just enter a title and description, no problem. Blooms and gardeners are available at the bottom if you use those as well. So once you're done filling out the details of your lesson plan, you have the option to copy it to a folder in your file cabinet for easier reuse in the future. as well as share it with other teachers in your district or other teachers around the country using SideKick. You can add homework assignments by clicking here. Simply select the file from your computer and upload it. Same goes for attachments. Homework assignments will show in your parent URL for parents and students to see, whereas attachments are just for you to view and use when you are teaching this lesson. You can also add any additional notes about the lesson here. Next, click on the Standards tab. As you can see here under the From Class Alignment tab, it's only going to show the standards that I chose earlier when I set up my classes. So I simply scroll down and find the standards that relate to this lesson. Select them and click the Add Selected Standards button. I have now aligned my lesson to those state standards. If you want to add other standards or even the Common Core, you can do so by clicking these tabs here. Scroll down and click Save and Done, and I'm done adding this lesson. Now, when we are redirected back to our planner, you can see the lesson I just added for all of my Biology 1 classes here on Monday. If I want to see more details of this lesson, I can click the magnifying glass. If I want to edit, copy, or delete this lesson plan, I can click on the Options link here. To add another lesson plan, you simply click here and go through the same steps again. This concludes the Getting Started with SideKick video. Please view our other how-to videos and emails with any questions or feedback at support@brighterlogics.com. Thank you.